Have you ever finished explaining an exercise program only for your client to smile, look you straight in the eye and say, yeah, I'll try? It sounds positive, it sounds encouraging, but over the years I've learned that I'll try is often one of the biggest warning signs in rehabilitation, because quite often it doesn't actually mean yes. Hi, I'm Jen Summers. I'm a sports massage therapist, coach and sports injury rehabilitation student. One of the things I've become fascinated by is why people know exactly what they should do and still don't do it. Because when someone says, I'll try, most clinicians hear commitment, but what they're often hearing instead is uncertainty. Today, I want to explain what I'll try can really mean and why recognizing it completely changed the conversations I have with clients. Think about it. When was the last time you said, I'll try to make it, or I'll try to get there, or I'll try and remember? Most of the time, when we're not making a promise, we're leaving ourselves that little escape route. I'll try sounds positive, but it's wonderfully non-committal, and clients do exactly the same thing. When somebody says, I'll try the exercises, they might actually be thinking, I'm not convinced they'll help, or I'm worried they're going to make things worse. Or even maybe like, I honestly don't think I'm going to have time. Sometimes it can even be, I just really don't want to do them, but I don't want to disappoint you. Notice something, like every one of those thoughts needs a completely different conversation. Yet, if all we hear is, I'll try, we'll probably miss them all. When I first started working with clients, I'd hear, I'll try, and I'd think, brilliant, perfect, job done. Then they'd come back to me the following week and nothing had happened. I'd think, they're not motivated, they just didn't bother. Now, I'm much less interested in the words, I'm much more interested in what's underneath them. So if someone says, I'll try, instead of immediately saying, great, I might ask something like, what do you think might get in the way? Or how confident do you feel about fitting these into your week? Maybe what makes you say you'll try rather than you'll actually do them? None of these questions are confrontational, they're just curious. And curiosity often uncovers the real barrier. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's time, maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's still that they don't really understand why the exercises matter. Whatever it is, now we have something real to work with. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is this, that people don't usually tell us everything directly. They often tell us indirectly. Sometimes the most important part of the consultation isn't what people say, it's almost like what they almost say. Learning to hear that difference can completely change rehabilitation. If this idea has made you stop and think, then I think you're going to really love the next video in this series. It's called The One Communication Skill That Changed How I Coach PT Clients, because that's where I explain the communication approach that completely changed how I respond to moments like this. I'll put it on screen now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.